জয় গোপী জন বল্লভ জয় গিরিবরধারী জয় গিরিবরধারী যশোদানন্দন ব্রজ জনরঞ্জন 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 যমুনা তীর বনচারী যমুনা তীর বনচারী জয় রাধা মাধব জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী গিরিধারী গিরিধারী Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare पूरा नाचना चाहिएगा Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Krishna Chandra Radha Krishna Chandra Radhe Jaya Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Jaya Prahlada Shima Jaya Prahlada Shima Prahlada Shima Jaya Prahlada Shima Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jai Om Vishnupada Paramhamsa Parivrajakaacharya Stotra Shri Hedwan Grace Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vranda Ki Jai Vrantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye Nashtaprayesha Vadhesho Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatittama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, chapter number 18, text number 8. Sagam Udasta Salilasya Gochare Saga Udasta Salilasya Gochare Saga Udasta Salilasya Gochare Vinyasya Tasyam Adhadha Swasatvam Vinyasya Tasyam Adhadha Swasatvam Vinyasya Tasyam Adhadha Swasatvam Abhishtuto Vishwa Sruja Prashunai Abhishtuto Vishwa Sruja Prasunai Abhishtuto Vishwa Sruja Prasunai Apuryamano Vibudhaihi Pashyato Rehe Apuryamano Vibudhaihi Pashyato Rehe Apuryamano Vibudhaihi Pashyato Rehe Sagha Udasta Salilasya Gochare Vinyasya Tasyam Adadha Swasatvam Abhishtuto Vishwasarja Prasune Apuryamano Vibudhai Pashyato Srehe Sagamudasta Salilasya Gochare Vinyasya Tasya Adhada Swatatvam Abhishtuto Vishwasraja Prasune हा पूर्यमानो बिबधै पश्यतो रेः सखामुदस्था सलिलस्य गोचरे विन्यस्य तस्या अदधा स्वसत्त्वम् अभिष्टुतो विश्वसृजा प्रसूने हा पूर्यमानो बिबधै पश्यतो रेः कामुदस्ता सलिलस्य गोचरे विन्यस्य सत्या ददास सत्त्वम् अवेशुतो विश्वसृजा प्रसूने अपूर्यमानो विबुधै पश्यतो रेः सगामदस्ता सलिलस्य गोचरे विन्यस्य तस्या अदधा स्वसत्त्वम् अभीष्टुतो विश्वसृजा प्रसूने हा पूर्यमानो विबुधै पश्यतो रेः सगामदस्ता सलिलस्य गोचरे विन्यस्य तस्या ददास सत्त्वम् अभीष्टुतो विश्वसृजा प्रसूने अपूर्यमाणो विबुधा स्पृश्यतो रेः word meaning Saha, the Lord, Gam, the earth, Udastha, on the surface, Salilasya, of the water, Gochare, within his sight, Vinyasya, having placed, Tasyam, to the earth, Adhadha, he invested, Swa, his own, Sattvam, existence, Abhishtutuhu, Abhishtutaha, prized, Vishwasraja, by Brahma, the creator of the universe, Prasunaihi, by followers, Apuryamanaha, become satisfied, Vibhudhaihi, by the demigods, Pashyataha, while looking on, Arehi, the enemy. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The Lord placed the earth within His sight on the surface of the water and transferred to her His own energy in the form of the ability to float on the water. While the enemy stood looking on, Brahma, the creator of the universe, extolled the Lord, and the other demigods rained flowers on him. Translation with repetition. The Lord placed the earth within His sight on the surface of the water and transferred to her His own energy in the form of the ability to float on the water. While when the enemy stood looking on, Brahma, the creator of the universe, extolled the Lord, and the other demigods rain flowers on him. Purport. Those who are demons cannot understand how the Supreme Personality of Godhead floated the earth on earth. But the devotee of the Lord, this is not a very wonderful act. Not only the earth, but many, many millions of planets are floating in the air. And this floating power is endowed upon them by the Lord. There is no other possible explanation. The materialists can explain that the planets are floating by the law of gravitation. But the law of gravitation works under the control or direction of the Supreme Lord. That is a version of Bhagavad Gita, which confirms by the Lord's statement that behind the material laws or the nature's laws and behind the growth, maintenance, production and evolution of all the planetary system, behind everything is the Lord is direction. The Lord's activities could be appreciated only by the demigods, headed by Brahma, therefore, when they saw the uncommon prowess of the Lord in keeping the earth on the surface of the water, they showered flowers on him in appreciation of his transcendental activity. This is a Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanadimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshulmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnuvadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashati Dishutarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Ghora Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. The chapter named The Battle Between the Lord Bhor and Varahadeva and Hiranyaksha. So, in the previous chapter, we discussed how Kashyapa gave birth to two demons named Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu through the womb of Mother Diti. And Hiranyaksha is the elder, Hiranyakashipu is the elder, and Hiranyaksha is the younger. To please Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha used to conquer all the planetary systems and disturbing all the devatas ran away. The fear of Hiranyaksha. So everyone is ran away from the sight of Hiranyaksha. Then afterwards, Hiranyaksha jumped into the ocean. Ocean is managed by Varuna. And every aquatics in the ocean also disturbed and ran away, fear of the Hiranyaksha. And finally, Hiranyaksha wanted to fight with Varuna. Then Varuna said to Hiranyaksha that I am not the proper match for you to fight. You are the most powerful person. Only for you the match is the Lord Vishnu. So the proper enjoyment of fighting can experience only if you fight with the Lord Vishnu. So you fight with him. So I am not capable. So in this chapter, the Maitreya speaking to Vidura, as Varuna given the hint to the Hiranyaksha, okay, for you proper match for fighting the Lord Vishnu. Narada Muni also told Hiranyaksha that in the second verse it is say, first verse, the proud and falsely glorious Daitya paid little heed towards the words of the Varuna. O dear Vidura, he learned from the Narada the very abhouse of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and hurriedly betook himself to the depth of the ocean. So Lord Varaha is already, the Lord is entering the depth of the water. So this hint the Hiranyaksha got. Then Hiranyaksha able to see the Lord in the form of a Varaha holding the earth on his tusk, brought it the surface of the ocean and left on the surface of the ocean. And earth was floating, and Lord is given the energy into the earth to float, and Hiranyaksha was seeing the earth was floating, and Lord Varaha also standing. So this was the situation here. The Lord placed the earth within the sight of the surface of the water and transferred to her his own energy in the form of the ability to float on the water. Generally, earth don't float on a water. If the earth you put on a water, the earth will be sink. But here, earth is floating on water. While the enemy stood looking on, the Hiranyaksha is looking on, and Brahma, the creator of the universe, and all the other praise the Lord, and also all the demigods showered the flower, rain flowers on him, on Supreme Lord, the Varahadev. This was the situation. And Prabhupada writes in a commentary, purport, those who are demons cannot understand how the Supreme Personality of Godhead floated the earth on water. But the devotees of the Lord, this is not a very wonderful act. So any materialistic person, if you see that, okay, the earth is floating on a water, then it will be very much something is very new things for him. This naturally don't happen. Higher density, you will think in the lower density. There's a law. So one who is very materialistic, he not knowing the science of the God, such person thinks for him is a very wonderful it is. For a devotee, Prabhupada says, for a devotee it is not a very wonderful act. For all of us it's a very wonderful act. But because we are not the devotees. Otherwise for the Brahma, it is not at all wonderful act. Because the Lord Brahma and all the Devatas, for them, they see the much, much superior, wonderful activities of the Lord, who already experienced, already they knew. And such people, okay, looks very small things. Because we don't know what the energy of the Lord, what the power of the Lord. We always think that, okay, everything under the control of nature's law. Nature's law is some higher density should sink in the lower density. Now something is higher density, is floating in lower density, something is very wonderful. So this particular phenomena, what here explained, scientists cannot understand. A materialistic man cannot understand. Avajanti, avajananti mamudha. The Lord say, amajananti mamudha. A materialistic person is not have the ability to understand the superior power of the Lord, which is beyond the material laws. Even material laws are very difficult to understand even by the scientist. Even material how this material world is working. For example, this universe, this one university, innumerable number of planets are moving so very systematically. Even though some of the phenomena scientists are understood, and many things are beyond the scientists' understanding, they are also bewildered. And now you see the Brahma and the demigods, they are not at all bewildered by this particular act. They will seeing in front of them. So, this is one of the way of understanding the God. So, Lord say in Bhagavad Gita, one who understands me tattvataha, and such person is eligible to enter into my abode, my transcendental abode. The beginning of the understanding the Lord tattvataha is the wonderful activities of the Lord. The beginning of understanding the Lord is understanding the wonderful activities of the Lord. That is the reason in Bhagavatam you see all these kind of topics are presented in the beginning chapters. How this one of the chapter is how Hiranyaksha is something is extraordinary in front of him, because Lord wants to show this. Because this atheist Hiranyaksha is thinking that I am very powerful. And Hiranyaksha was telling, in earlier verses, Hiranyaksha was telling, why are you lifting this earth? This is belong to my planet, in the lower planet. Why are you lifting? Because before the early few chapters earlier, there is a discussion, Maitreya and Vidura telling about Brahma created this universe, all the planetary system. Then Brahma also the planetary system already exist. The Brahma has created a living entities. After the creation of living entity, the Brahma's body, there the two personalities came. The Manu. So he asked, okay, now you rule. Then when he wanted to rule, he is searching for, the earth is misplaced. Earth is not there in his particular position. Then he offered the prayer to the Brahma. Then the Brahmas understood the earth is misplaced where the place is supposed to be. Then that what they offer the prayer to the Lord, and that the Lord came in the form of a Varaha. This was the previous incident, how all this history has come. Then the Vidura is asking, after that, okay, then there is a discussion about, okay, there is a fight between Hiranyaksha and Varahadi. So then they ask, why Varaha Varaha and Hiranyaksha are fighting. Then he tells the history of, okay, then there was Dititi requested the Kashyapa Rishi, and they begot two children as Riman. All these stories are continuing along. The history is continuing like this. Now the Varaha is want to bewilder the Hiranyaksha, so he put in front of the Hiranyaksha, and the hearth is floating, and Hiranyaksha starting scolding Varaha, insulting the Varaha. So this is belong to me. Why you brought this on here? And insulting also, you are the lower creature. But Hiranyaksha is not able, because this kind of wonderful activity, an ordinary creature cannot do it. But Hiranyaksha is not understanding. So here say, now, why to bewilder the Hiranyaksha? So Prabhupada furthermore he say, not only the earth, many millions of planets are floating in the air, and this floating power is endowed upon them by the Lord. There is no other possible explanation. Now, how these all the planets are floating in the air? There is no any explanation can give as scientifically. So the materialist can explain that the planets are floating by the law of gravitation. But the law of gravitation works under the control or direction of the Supreme Lord. Mayadakshena prakriti cha suyate cha charachara. So that is a vision of the, that is a version of the Bhagavad Gita, which confirms by the law statement that behind the material laws or the nature's law, and behind the growth, maintenance, production, and evolution of all the planetary system, behind everything is the law's direction. Lord is maintaining. So, this to understand. So, a person is pride of his own power and energy. Such people not able to understand the extraordinary power of the Lord. So, understand the Lord, one should surrender to the Lord. So, we sing the songs Sharanagati, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, see, Tumi Sarveshwareshwara Brujendra Kumara Tomara Ichchaya Vishwe Srujana Samhara Tava Ichcha Mata Brahma Karena Srujana Tava Ichcha Mato Vishnu Korena Palana Tava Ichcha Mati Shiva Korena Samhara Tava Ichcha Mati Maya Suji Karagar. So, by the will of the Lord, all the great personality of this world doing their activity, otherwise none of them able to do anything without the power of the Lord or will of the Lord. So Sharanagati, he says Saranagati means, so one who want to understand the Supreme Lord, one should surrender to the Lord. Unless one surrender to the Lord, you are not able to understand the reality of this world. So that is the reason, if any materialistic man, scientist cannot understand how this universe is working, unless one understands the God. One understands the Lord, then he is able to understand every law of this universe. because this universe is working under a certain law, and that is laws are made by the Lord himself. So in the scientific way also scriptures talks about how this creation came into existence, and that explanation is itself is understanding a common intelligent person is very difficult task. So once to understand the supreme energy, supreme science of this universe, one should understand the science of the God, science of the Krishna. And understanding the science of the Krishna is surrendering to the Krishna. Otherwise, it's not possible. So, to perform a bhakti, one should completely depend on Krishna's will. If we don't depend on the Krishna's will, okay, I thinking that my own intelligence is working. That is the greatest illusion. And ultimately the Paramatma is doing everything within. As looks like we also doing. Look like we all are doing. And some acharyas sings like, okay. So everyone, everything that you are the doer and enjoying the fame by me. I am enjoying the fame, whatever result I am enjoying, but actually you are the doer. And this is the real understanding, okay, I taking as credit of whatever progress, but actually Supreme Lord is doing. So a devotee should be very humble, depend on the Lord, and do everything for the Lord. Depending on the Lord and doing everything for the Lord. And such a person able to do lot many things. Because when a person is surrendered to the Lord, Lord is empowered him to do everything. If he not surrender, then Lord is wait, okay, out of your own energy you do it. And there is some success also. No, I am not telling there is no success. For example, someone is doing, so I want to be success. People do a lot of plans in the material world. Materialistic people do a lot of plans, and they have the intensive desire to come up with the proper result. And the karmas acts. Now see, everyone under the clutches or in the boundary of our own karma. And there also Lord is given us some free will to each and every one. And that free will Lord has given for us to surrender Him, understand Lord and surrender Him. Or one may utilize the same free will to enjoy his own desires. According to one's own karma, the pain and pleasure one will experience. And in addition to that, one of his own free will, he has intensive desire to enjoy something which may not be there in his karma. In his karma is not, but he has an intensive desire to enjoy something which is not there in the karma. And the Lord sometimes sanctions such intensive desires also. So that's the reason a person may desire some materialistic things which is beyond this karma, and you have to pay for that. And why is intensive desire? For his own sense gratification. And every sense gratification is accumulating karmas. A devotee surrender to the Lord, he also desire. And a pure devotee There is no karma boundary. For a pure devotee, there is no karma boundary. Because he is completely under the will of the Lord, and whatever you do, it is for Krishna's pleasure, and Krishna gives the credit to the devotee, and everything you do through that devotee. Example is Arjuna. One point of time Arjuna understood, okay, Krishna is the supreme, everything is his will, I should act. And before that, Arjuna was acting his own free will. When Arjuna act according to the Krishna's will, okay, now I give up my own free will, okay, karishye vachanam tava, whatever you say, I do it. In Arjuna's case, all success happened. And Arjuna got the credit of all the success. Even though Arjuna was not to enjoy the success, because he did everything for the Krishna's pleasure. The same thing for a devotee. He should desire definitely. What he should desire? He should desire what great I can do for the Supreme Lord. And that great, whatever I want to do for the Supreme Lord, I'll do it by the mercy of the Lord. Not my own intelligence or my own power. And this was the mentality of surrendering. Very simple, looks very simple. So, here given the example how the demigods has not be bewildered by this great activities what Lord they are seeing in front of them. Because those devotees already understood Lord is so powerful. This is a very small thing. He can do much, much big wonderful things. Compared to that, whatever I am seeing is not a very great thing. But they are seeing the Supreme Lord in front of them with their lot of emotion toward the Lord, loving relationship. Those devatas offered as showered rain of flowers to the Lord. Not that, okay, something is great, okay. A devotee have the natural love for the Lord. So, whenever they see the Lord doing wonderful activities, they appreciate. Here say, the Brahmas extolled the Lord. And this was the every devotee's duty. Always glorifying the Lord for every wonderful activity, whatever I do even, whatever I able to do, so-called wonderful activities. Because in the material world there is always comparison. Because someone is did better, good, best, so many things. But whatever the better, good, worst, things I do in the material world as a service to the Lord, I look at, okay, Lord is acting, and because of His mercy, I able to do something for His own service. And happy, I able to do some service for the Lord. And Lord is happy, that's the reason a devotee also happy. See, devotee's enjoyment is giving pleasure to the Lord all the time. And Lord will be happy all the time when a devotee is surrendered and depending on Him. And this is a natural law, even in the material world. When a son is depending on the Lord for everything, depending on the father, a son is depending on the father for everything. And father has the very compassion to that child. A small child is for everything is depend on the Lord. And father is caring for that child all the time, and he is have the very loving relation. Similarly, A devotee is depending on the Lord for everything, every success. And Lord will be really satisfied with that devotees. So one want to take the favor of the Lord. One should give up all the false pride, like how Hiranyaksha showing his pride. Hiranyaksha is not able to do such wonderful activity. He is seeing in front of a boar, he is lifting the earth and making that earth is floating in water. And he is insulting. He is the lowest of creature. You are not appreciating, okay, you wonderfully did, you have lived this earth, you are not appreciating. Even the Hiranyaksha personally not able to do this. But in front of him someone is doing it. But he is not bewildered this. Okay, this is a lesson how the Bhagavatam training us, teaching us how we should get rid of all this kind of wrong understanding in our own life in practicing devotional services and rectify ourselves and practice in the proper mindset under the guidance of the sadhu, shastra and the acharyas, guru. One able to progress in devotional service, ultimately attaining and become a wonderful servant of the Lord instead of doer in this material something. Okay, I'll stop here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.